What's up, everybody? Welcome to No Control. So you can see in front of me, I got a box. What's in the box? Well, it's a bunch of empty bags, and a lot of them say Endura on it. So what do you think I built? There are little bags right here and a little Spectrum, little mini thing. So what did I build? Let's get that out of the way. I built this. Now, my thinking on this was I wanted to build an SCX24 that was based off Amazon, just because I could. So this is what I came up with. It's I'll end up hitting on the price and whatever later, but basically every part of this, except for the receiver, I purchased on Amazon. So let's cut into the little bit I did, showing you what I did to achieve this, and then we'll wrap it back up at the end. So let's take a quick peek inside this box, and arguably everything I bought, the exception of one thing that I have to look up, was all off Amazon. So let me move this box a little bit. We'll start going through it. So it's almost all Endura, almost all the stuff. So I got like a rock bouncer chassis. Here's a drive shafts. I got shocks. Got some skid plates. I don't know if I'm going to use those or not, but I got the chassis mount, transmission mount right there. Here is upgraded servo with mount and arm, all Endura. Set of green beadlock wheels. And this is not Endura. I got to look up the manufacturer because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but these did come off Amazon. These are brass portal axles. So we're going to throw those bad boys in it. I got a set of links that they're aluminum. And then they're the high grade ones there. Here's a set of overdrive gears, because I'm gonna plan on overdriving the front. I just got to make sure these fit in there. And let's see here. Now I got two options for this. So you saw the wheels. So I got two sets of tires. Originally I got these with the wheels, but I picked up a set just recently of the Swamp Claws, the soft compound Endura Swamp Claws. And I might end up throwing those on them. They're a lot bigger, but I might end up throwing those on them. So I know I originally said I was planning on cannibalizing an SCX24 to do this. What happened was, the reason I didn't is this system came on sale. So I was down to basically just the electronics left. So Spectrum had this little 8 amp 24 scale brushless motor system go on sale for, I believe, $59. So I bought that only to buy it. And then I was like, what am I going to do with it? And I said, well, what the heck? Let's throw it in this build. So didn't end up basically needing to take that SCX24 apart. And I had an SR315 kicking around. So I'm going to use that so I can link it to my DX5. And here's the last little thing, this little part right here. I got the transmission. So I'm pretty sure when I went through my list, I think I have every single piece to build a Amazon-based kind of, not really competition, but an Amazon-based crawler. So I'm actually going to start chucking all this aside, and we're going to take this chassis out of the bag and start building that. All right, so here we are, kind of like maybe close to halfway-ish. So I kind of intended on maybe showing a little bit more as I was building a chassis, but kind of as I got going, I realized, oh, well, I need to put the transmission mount in. I was like, well, if I do that, I probably should put the transmission in, which if I did that, I needed to put the motor in. So I kind of ended up building the whole central of the car one shot, which proved to be smarter than building the chassis and then trying to put everything in, because you have the chassis, then there's the tranny mount, there's a tranny and motor, then above that is the plate where the electronics and batteries sit. So I kind of built it all in levels all the way up. I even have the servo all wired in already, but I don't have the front axle in it, so I can just drop it down. Everything's plugged in, ready to go. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. It is pretty confined. I don't know if you can really kind of see in there. It's not as clean as I was hoping to get it,
but everything is in there. I even have the battery sitting in there, which is a 2S battery, 30C. And then I have the 315 standing on the side in here. And then I have the speed control with the on-off switch facing out the back. I do want to try to clean up the wires a little bit more. These 4 screws right here on the top, and I can pull the whole top off. So if I wanted to get to stuff, it's not that difficult. Okay, here we are in the last tiny little home stretch here. So I got everything all pre-built, went through the axles, greased, overdrive the front. She's good to go. Wheels and tires are built. No foam inserts. It shows to go no foam inserts. Like I said, the front's all done, overdriven. Got to mount the servo in it. Shocks are already on it. I mounted the shocks upside down, and I'm going to run them with no springs. I took some advice from Adam from the Cape Crawlers. So I'm mounting these telescopic shocks upside down. And I also did his little trick that he talked about doing. So these eyes in these links, they usually have little rubber bands on both sides. So it keeps them held in there. I took his advice, which he's got really good ideas. And I took the rubber band off the big flange on the inside, so they still won't fall out. But you gain a tiny bit of movability. So I'm going to see what that translates into, see if it helps any performance, it helps any flex or anything. But you can see they kind of wiggle around pretty good. So that's it for that. Now I'm going to cram all this together so I can actually get this thing running. All right, everybody, so here it all is. She's all put together, not really truly tested. I'm going to get some batteries charged up. I'm going to bring it out and actually test it out in the field. But before I get too far here, kind of check this out. Throw these bad boys. So I got, those are 4 SCX tires, Swampers I had mounted up. And it flexes fully. Like, I actually still have weight on the rear tire. She's still squished a little bit. So it actually goes up about that high. Now, that is really cool. It's a lot of flex. Now the next goal is to see if I can make it functional. Because, like I said, I bought every piece off Amazon. I bought a piece here and there over the last handful of months. I'd buy 1 or 2 things here and there and just chuck it aside. And eventually I was like, well, all I got left to do is buy the motor and ESC, and then I got everything. So this is what I ended up coming up with. A little bit of modification on the side of the chassis to get the motor in. Other than that, she's good to go. Now, the grand total on this, I'll put just below me. It was 400 and something. Just barely over 400 I spent in total with the receiver, motor, ESC, everything. So that's how much it cost me to build this thing from scratch. I didn't take any piece off anything else. I bought all the pieces and put it together. Now, it did come out cool. I do want to add, though, in doing everything I bought, I should have maybe planned the whole build a little better, because the end result was this thing is actually really pretty heavy. So I do have an aluminum chassis, which has an aluminum plate on it with an aluminum motor plate underneath. The axles are brass. It has brass links, brass ends. The steering is brass. It has brass weights on the outside. And it was all kind of things I had bought, and I should have like really planned it a little bit better. So the end result was this thing is heavy, and I think it might be too heavy. So I'm going to actually take this out and test it, see what it does. Because like I said, I think it's going to be too heavy and it's not going to perform to the level it should. Or I could be wrong. I don't know. But all in all, really cool to build. Had enjoyed it. It's actually not too bad to build and do. Especially if you squirrel a piece away every once in a while, it's not really even that bad on the wallet. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was cool and informative. Any comments you can throw to me might be appreciated, because I might need a little bit of advice, because I'm still learning on this whole mini crawler thing. So hopefully we're going to see this thing doing something cool in our course that we built. And I got to go against Alex's stuff with this to see if I can outperform it, which hopefully I do. So stay tuned for all that stuff. Like and subscribe, comment, anything. You guys have been awesome, and we'll catch you next time.